Hey everyone, working on this 2012 GMC Acadia. I'm going to be replacing the spark plugs today. It has a 3.6 liter V6 engine, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, after you pop your hood, you should see your engine cover right here. You're going to need to take off your oil filler cap and then just kind of pry up on the cover, and you'll see it has several bushings, or little push bushings that attaches right here on the top of the intake. So you have your coil packs that's on the front of the engine right here, and then you had 3 more on the back. Go ahead and place your oil cap back on there just so you don't drop anything down in the hole, no dirt or anything. Then go ahead and take the electrical connectors off from the coils. They're just push clips, so you should be able to just push on the back of it. Just push down on the clip and pull out on the wire. Do that all the way across. This one's kind of hiding underneath. Okay, so once you get those off, go ahead and take you a 10 millimeter with an extension and start removing the bolts. Doesn't really matter which one that you do first. Just set them off to the side so you don't lose them. The next one, it's kind of hiding under the harness right there, but you should be able to see it whenever you're looking. These are actually on there pretty tight. And the last one is right down in here. This one's a little bit tougher to get to. You might have to get a swivel or a short extension to get down underneath there. I'm going to just use a long extension like this. Put it right down through the wiring harness right there. Now if yours is too much of an angle, it looks like it's a lot of an angle, but it's really not. It's just the camera making it look like it is a little bit, but not a whole lot. The coil right there, should be able to just pull straight up with it. Just like that. Now you can do the second coil that's right behind here. Just pull it up basically the same way. Now this third coil right here is a little bit tougher to get out. Take a 10 millimeter, go to your solenoid right here. There's a little bolt on the back side of it. It's going to be kind of hard for you to see. Now go ahead and take that bolt out right there. Okay, so once you get that loose, you can pull your valve out just like that and just kind of set it there. You don't have to unplug it or anything, just lay it off the side. You'll be able to see the coil a little bit better. Now the coil comes up and hits the intake. Turn it sideways like this. Whenever you're coming up, if you go underneath with your left hand back here and your right hand on the right side, whenever you come up right here, just kind of pull back on it and you'll be able to slide it up just like that and get it out. Now you want to look down in the holes to make sure that there's no debris down in there. If there is, you want to take a blow gun or something to blow it up out of there before you remove the spark plugs. So on this hole right here, I'm using an extension that has a little wobble head on it, and I have my spark plug socket, which is the 5/8. That way the end will be loose. If you try to use it straight without anything, it's going to end up hitting the intake. So you got to get in there and slightly at an edge. Still have plenty of room to go down in there. You can see that it's not binding or anything. Just make sure that you keep the extension straight, as straight as possible in the hole whenever you're taking the plug out. Go ahead and get your ratchet on there. So once you get it unscrewed all the way, if you don't have a magnetic or a rubber bushing on the end of your socket, then take a little magnet, stick it down in the hole, and remove the plug. Depending on the type of plug that you have, it should already be pre-gapped if you use the correct plug. I think these are platinums or iridiums or something. They should already be pre-gapped. Now if you have to check it, then you can check it with a gapper and slide it in there. You don't want to check it if it's a platinum or something, because you can damage the tip with the gapper tool, but that's always something to keep in mind. Alright, so now you want to go ahead and get your new plug, and I always use a nickel-based anti-seize lubricant on the plugs just before I put them in. Now you don't have to cake it on. I usually just put a really light coating on there all the way around, and then I once I get down here close to the hole, I'm gonna stick my finger down in there. I know it's kind of hard to see, but I'm easing the spark plug all the way down the hole with my finger pressed up against it and slowly letting it down until I can't reach any further than letting it go. So after you get the plug in there, go ahead and start tightening it back up. And I normally wait until I get all the plugs changed before I torque them down. I usually put them in hand tight, and I'll take a little ratchet and just put a slight tug on it. Now we'll go ahead and go to the next cylinders and work on the next spark plug. Do the same for the next two on the front. Alright, so now we have all the cylinders on the front side replaced, and we're going to go ahead and torque those down. So whenever I looked up the torque specs, it said 156 inch-pounds. I usually go over it at least twice just to make sure. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and clean up the coils. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of dielectric grease down here at the end where it makes contact with the spark plug. So I got a little bit of dielectric grease right here. And then we're going to go ahead and start putting these coils back into their proper positions. Dielectric grease on it. Go ahead and stick the next one back in its hole there. Take the bolts that came out of it and start threading those back in. Alright, go ahead and tighten those up. The camera angle makes it look like it's really sharp, but it's not too bad. Also, if you have a swivel head on your extension, then you'll be able to get it on there without any problem. You don't want to crank these down really tight. Maybe look up your torque specs if you're concerned about that. Just kind of snug them. Just don't crank them down. Don't want to break the coils. Once you get those tightened back up, now you can go ahead and take your electrical connector, slide it back on, push it up until you hear it click. Alright, so now you got the front ones done. Now we're going to go ahead and do the back ones. The back ones are a little bit tougher to do because they're back behind the cowl. You can't see them without putting a light back there. Okay, so I got the camera off to the side. Hopefully you'll be able to see. I've got my finger back here. I'm going to go ahead and get the clips off from the coils. Can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm pushing down on the clip. I'm feeling what I'm doing basically. So I got the coil wires off. Now I'm going to get the 10mm back here and get those bolts out. Okay, so hopefully you got a good view right there. I'm going to get them all loose. So once you get those loose, you should be able to wiggle them on out with your hand. If you can't, you might have to put the socket back on there. Here is a little too tight for me to do it with my hand, so I'm going to put the socket back on there. Alright, so once you get the bolts out, go ahead and just pull upward on the coils. Turn that a little bit. Take the coils out. Okay, so here's the tricky part. I had to get 2 short extensions because the one solid extension that I had was too long to go in here. It was sitting the top or underneath the firewall, but I got a short wobble to go on here, which allowed me to get it in the spark plug hole. I'm trying to keep the spark plug, the socket straight in the hole. As you can see, I'm undoing it now. So I'm going to do the same process for the other 2 plugs across there. And then same thing, once you get this where you think it's loose, you're probably going to have to take the socket out and then get you a magnetic retriever to get the spark plug out. So I'll pull this out. And then I'll grab my magnetic retriever. Pull the spark plug up and out of the hole. Got the new plug here. I'm going to slide it back down in there. And I'm going to get my socket. Go ahead and start tightening it up. These back ones are quite a bit more difficult to do, especially whenever you're filming. If I wasn't filming, I probably would have already been done. It was really hard to get the camera in a spot where it would stay and be able to show you exactly what I'm doing. Plus I've got the fan on, so it's making a little bit of noise. The fan is because there's a bunch of mosquitoes out here. I'm trying to keep the mosquitoes from chewing me up. Snug by hand now. Exact same thing for this one. Get it loose. Alright, here goes plug number 2. Going on to the last plug. Still using this extension on it. Alright. We're putting the last spark plug back in. Last but not least. We go ahead and do the same process. Putting it back in. And again, I'm not even really looking, I'm feeling of what I'm doing. I'm trying to look at the camera at the same time a little bit. So now I'm going to go ahead and torque the back ones. A little bit more difficult to get the torque wrench on the back side, but still possible to do. You can see it in my hand right there. Alright, that one's torqued. I was able to get it without separating it. I am having to have the extensions on there in order to get it there just because of how high the intake is on it. Alright, I got the dielectric grease on the coils, and I'm going to go ahead and just slide them back into their holes. You see the insulation coming down, getting in the way. And I'm just going to set all of them in there because I'm having to hold the insulation up with my other hand. Forgot to take the socket out. So I'm pressing them down in there. I'm gonna go ahead and get the bolts in. I got the bolts in there already, but I'm gonna go ahead and tighten them up. And again, you don't have to crank these down, just snug them up. And once you snug up those bolts, now you can go ahead and take the electrical connectors. The insulation was just coming off everywhere. Go ahead and take the electrical connectors and push them back in. Alright. As you can see, it's really hard to see the coils back there, but hopefully you were able to get a good shot with my camera. Also, remember to put your valve back in where it went and tighten it up with that 10mm bolt on it. Alright, so then go ahead and take your oil filler cap off and put your cover back on. It's got those little plugs right there, go right on top of those points. Once you set them up there and get them into place, then they usually just kind of push it back into position pretty easily, just like that. And then put your oil filler cap back on. But that's how you change your plugs out on your GMC Acadia. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button for me. Like it, share it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Stay tuned for more videos, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching again, everyone.